but he doesn't seem to be the person behind it. So he knows we have pressed him a bit more. And he's now taking us to the base 19 in planet Veda. We need to figure out what do we know about this. Let's add this location here. I'm gonna add base 19. We need to figure what do we know about this place. So let's open our journal notes for game unfolding machine, and let's go to the locations table. Let's see which columns could we use. I think we can extract certain details like purpose, looks. I think it's going to be fine. Purpose and look. So let's roll twice d20. 15 for the purpose. It's a production facility area. And the looks 7. It's joyful cheering. Okay, so I'm gonna guess it's quite a colorful place. I'm gonna adjust it to my own expectations. Not going to make it cheering because it's a production facility in the middle of a jungle, but it can indeed be, let's say, colorful in terms of jungles and plants and flowers and animal sounds. It's going to be a pretty place, let's say. So yeah, that's what we know. So we're gonna write that down. It's in the middle of jungle wilderness. And second, it's colorful, attractive, natural location. And second, it's for production, so probably energy and maybe also, why not, mineral extraction facility. That's the purpose, and that's where the actual weapon smuggling delivery occurs. So with that said, I think we have plenty of information to get on with our next scene. Let's begin scene number 8. Okay, for scene number 8, what we know is that Essetos and Lysandra are pushing Carl to drive them to base 19, and that's what is going to happen. So I'm going to run a plan check to see if things go well. That's from the rule sets. Plan check, d20. I think the situation is tense, if you ask me. I'm going to lower it down to risky, however, because we are not yet there. We are in a research facility place which is safer, but still risky. Anyways, we got an 18. That means everything goes as expected. And we drive towards the base 19. What do you do? Characters. Essetos packs his weapons, readies his drone, and doesn't remove the looks out of Carl. Lysandra as well. She's paying attention to the surroundings. Lysandra wants to check if anyone could be following. I think it's very unlikely, so I'm going to roll a 2 times d20 and pick the lowest. That's a 10. The lowest is a 10. So is anyone following? Or do we see, she checks if there's anyone following. The question in character will be, can't tell for now. So there looks like nobody's there for now, or at least, yeah, there's nothing or no reason or no sounds or anyone following right now. Great. I like this music, by the way. What else do you do? I guess there's nothing to do right now. Carl is driving. Does he say anything? I think he's gonna stay silent right now. There's not much to talk. I'm thinking if there's any questions Estetos or Lizzie are gonna ask him. Carl said he didn't know anything about this guy called Herrick. So yeah. Let me ask if he's gonna say anything before we close the scene. It's a GM question. Weak no, so he's basically mumbling and speaking inside, doesn't say anything really clearly. And that ends scene number 8, which was the transition one. It is fine. To drive to scene number 9, I'm going to run a plan check. No, actually not going to run a plan check. I am going to run a scene proposal, a scene prompt. So unfold the game. I want to know what's going on as we arrive. That's a 6. 6 stands for a skill test. There's a knowledge test, yields information, could discover something. Alright, so scene number 9 is going to be potential opportunity to learn something from the place. So we arrive to the base. It's a huge complex. There are 2 huge large turbines like that go from the very tall trees in the jungle down to the under earth. They go deep underground, mixing like biological technology with technology. And there's one pillar in the middle of the production facility. It's the old Renners, the old extinct species pillar that produces electricity purple bursts that emanate with a very, very silent vibration. As the characters arrive, let me see, what do they know? I think Lisandra knows about medicine. So naturally from here we have to go to the Grand Oracle to see what we could learn about. Gonna roll a 3D100. 78, 34 and 68. So we have reduce forbidden partnership. Okay, reduce forbidden partnership. The forbidden partnership I read as the partnership between the augmented faction and the Xeno Wardens. So as we arrive, we're gonna see a lot of people, and we're gonna see a group of characters that are hooded. They have very large staffs, or staves, I don't know how they call it, multiple staffs. And they are having an argument with other corporate members of the production facility, which are mostly a mix of androids and cyber-augmented humans, just like Carl. PCs, what do you do? So Estetos is gonna ask Carl, who are they? They are the Xeno Wardens. Were you expecting them here? That's a great question. He answers, yes, I guess so. Yes, I guess they are pretty often around here checking if our business is down as usual. So I guess things are not as going as usual, right? What do you mean? Well, where's the alarm, right? What is the conflict all about after all? And I guess we were talking about conflict about an attack. So that attack, apparently it's not here, or not happening here right now at least. So he's going to answer, I cannot answer that. I'm coming here just as you are. I would like to talk to the Xeno Wardens. I'm not sure they're gonna like that. Why not? They deal only with specific members of organization. They're quite reserved. Do you see Herrick around here? Let's see what he answers. Because we need to know if Herrick, this Kev, is here or not. 14. It's possible, not sure. As I said before, he should be around here, but I'm not sure where exactly. I don't see him around. Where are the main headquarters of this production facility? We can go and ask. I still want to talk to the Xeno Wardens. Fine, then I'm gonna leave you here. That's fine. You better not go anywhere. We might need the transport after all. Sure. So Essetos and Lysandra, they come down the vehicle. The hover vehicle turns off and deploys down the stairs. So Essetos and Lysandra come down, walking slowly. I'm gonna check for an interruption check right now. An intervention. That's a 97. The GM will make the PCs try overcome a skill test, so we need to check which one exactly. There's a challenge here. It's 2 times D20. 6 is a reaction reflexes balance, average difficulty. So what is going to make our reflexes? I have an idea. I have the feeling Carl wants to get the hell out of here, so he's gonna accelerate the hover drive before we stop landing. But, I mean, even before we end off the landing, he's gonna escape the hell out of here. Who knows why, right? Is this what happens? I want to confirm with the GM. 5. 5 is no, it's not what happens. I don't like this. Like, if I have an idea, I don't want to ask if it happens. It happens. I already had the idea. I'm gonna ignore this result and take it. So Carl decides to escape. He accelerates in hover drive, and Essetos and Lysandra are falling down. They roll forward and try to not take a heavy hit. He put us in danger, literally, and we will be stuck here about 200 kilometers away from where we came from. So he accelerates and you have to jump. DC, I guess it's gonna be 14. So Essetos is gonna take full damage, and Lysandra is gonna take as well full damage. So the fall, they're gonna roll. The stairs are gonna, let's say, pull back into the car, and car is gonna turn violently, rotate the hover drive, and accelerate, and Essetos and Lysandra jump off, but they are hit very hard in the ground with a d6 damage each. That's kind of unfair. Oh, Lysandra takes it, the worst of it. Oh, why she was not with full stamina? She should be at 1 stamina. And Essetos takes 2 damage, so he's back to 4 stamina. Ouch! They roll and they hit the ground. They cannot manage to land very well. The bastard! Why would he leave us alone here? He's scared of something, definitely. Let's go talk to Xeno Wardens. Okay, that would be the end of a scene 9, I think, or 8. And now we're going to start scene number 9, approaching the Xeno Wardens. Alright, as we approach the meeting, let's say, between the augmented managers and the Xeno Wardens, they are like meeting on an open, I would say, I would imagine they are meeting on an open tent in the jungle. They have a table in the middle with a projector projecting certain areas of different areas of the jungle. And we're going to approach closely and try to listen in what they were talking about as they were discussing. So let me check what were they talking about with a double check. 58 lead and 79 the rebels. So they are discussing about leading rebels. That is pretty interesting. And as we approach the management of the augmented, they are a mix of a bit of different races. Some of them are augmented humans, others are las juntas. What other races are there? Yeah, most and some androids. So, and the Xeno Wardens are mostly. The Xeno Wardens are actually. Let me check. What are they made of? Xeno Wardens. Is there information about here? What race is this? Ecological Guardians. I think they have their own unique race. But there are probably some envoys from the Xeno Wardens. So they are talking with people like these about certain spots of resisting rebels from the native population. And the discussion goes around that the Xeno Wardens don't think this native population have any reason to be fighting with the research facilities, so they're trying to understand. And as it does approaches, hello, sorry. Who are you? We are envoys from the Supremacy Collective. We are here on a project to investigate the operations of the facility. I'm gonna need a group of people here, and so mainly there will be a figure who represents like the leadership of the augmented side, and then there seems to be an envoy leader from the Xeno Wardens. There are, let's say, 1d4 on the augmented side people, so 4 people on the production side of the faction, and then 1d4, 3 Xeno Wardens. And as Escitos and Lysandra approach, everyone stays silent, and the leader of this augmented says, "This is we are currently in a private meeting. You should not be here. Please follow to the main central headquarters, and they are going to let you know where to stay. The situation is currently dire." Exactly, and that's why we are here. We have been sent here to look for Herrick and deal with the conflict. Who sent you exactly? You should not be here, says the leader of this augmented side, and then the Xeno Warden will interrupt and say, I want to give these people an opportunity to listen to them. So please, Sergeant, move aside, says the Xeno Warden. And Escitos and Lysandra approach. We have evidence that plays against a person called Herrick. He has been operating certain weapon smuggling in the research facility and in this area of Veda. What is the meaning of this? What kind of ridiculous thing are you saying? There is no evidence of this stupidity that you're bringing on. Please, Sergeant, if I want to hear your opinion. I'm gonna ask for it. For the moment, please stay silent until all opinions are heard. Please proceed. A member of the research facility called Herrick seems to have deleted certain operation from audit member Lisa Veremeyer, sent by Mr. Adams from the Packed Worlds. There's no evidence of her presence anywhere around, so we are looking for a missing person. On top of that, the credentials being used to delete this data point out to an employee called Herrick. This employee has records written that point out to a smuggle operations of weapons to fight the local natives. Of course we want to fight the local natives. There's a bunch of rebels here causing trouble. The rebels should not exist. There is no such thing as a rebel. They are trying to protect something that your research in this planet is disturbing. That's nonsense. You know what the research facilities of the Augmented are clear, transparent, and legal, and they're all compliant with your ecological compliance rules. That is yet to be seen. I want to be able to see this Herrick, find him with an order of capture, and at the same time, if there's any fight with this Sequoia, with Marakwoi, please let me know. What are your names, you two? The name is Esetos. I am Lysandra. So I'm guessing you're operatives from the Augmented Supremacy Collective. We are hired by them, yes, miss. We are mostly investigating with a neutral perspective. I see there's certain people with some reason in the Augmented faction. That's good. It's a good sign that you of your own are sending to figure out things are not messed up. Unfortunately, this is not improving our relations with the supremacy, but there is still a chance to fix this and bring to an alliance and peace with the native locals. I want to know what exactly kind of research is being conducted here. Yes, Grandmaster. We will do whatever we can. And this guy gives a very, very bad look to Esetos and Lysandra. I want to be informed of all operations around here. The Xeno Wardens deploy law number 3576 variation 2 in presence of any non-licit operations and conflict with native population of any planets. The Xeno Wardens have the power to take over. I am aware of that, Grandmasters. The question is, what do Esetos and Lysandra do with this information? So, what is there for us? We want to also meet this person called Herrick to figure out if he knows about the operative being lost. Well, we will find him. In the meantime, I need to ask you to do something else. But we are not exactly working for you. Well, if you want to do your mission, which is finding your missing agent and figuring out what's going on here, this is part of that. I need you to meet one of the Marakwoi and make sure, or you understand why are they fighting. Are you aware of these research experiments, Grandmaster? I am aware this planet is trying to defend itself. What I don't know is the slight details of the research facilities. Reports indicate the investigations are perfectly normal. However, there are certain transactions here that I see of an exchange between natural resources coming from this planet and the corresponding commercial area of this research. This is what calls my attention too. That's what we also would like to find. Exactly, so for this reason you have to figure out why the Mark Y are angry, as they were not a few years ago. Sounds reasonable, responds Ecetos. Do you know where you can find them? I'm gonna assume yes. I guess they're going to give some coordinates. Let's see the GUM locations. We need an outskirt position or maybe some wilderness area. I think a wilderness area makes sense. Also, this is a jungle-like, so we already know it's jungle. Maybe we can look for a feature and some looks to get an idea of a location where we should go to. 12 and 10. So 12 stands for atmosphere, is the feature of this place, and 10 is active busy. So Grandmaster of the Xenoward is gonna say, here are the coordinates. It's deep in the jungles. The air is not easy for your species to breathe it. So wear your helmets given and be careful of not going too deep. Sounds good. Do you think the Maroquois will attack us on sight? That's a good question. 12. It's complicated. She's gonna respond. Yeah, that's a complicated question. The Maroquois are quite defensive, yet proud people. Usually they are very smart and conservative, but when they feel attacked, they are pretty straightforward and making sure everyone else is just an enemy. So they only trust themselves. They will see you as a foreign, but if you approach in the right way, then you might have a chance. What do you mean by the right way? Keep your weapons low. Don't touch what you don't understand. And don't enter any civilian areas without any proper safety, let's say. Sounds good. Then we will go and come back and let you know. Interesting. In the meantime, I'm gonna make sure we find this Hurek and we're going to interrogate him. I'm going to share with you all of our findings. If your mission is really to keep good relations, then we need to figure out the truth. And that would be the end of scene number 9.